Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. Today I have a special guest with me, Chris Lathrop. He's someone who has been investigating the Las Vegas alien incident along with Scott Roeder and myself. And he's someone who's done a lot of research into this. He's actually the person who compiled the big giant report that I had I included in a link in several of my podcasts over the past few months. And also Scott Roeder had included that with in his report as well. And Chris is very interested in this case, and he wants to get to the bottom of it as just like the rest of us do. And he found something new today, some new information that we were not aware of. It was something that was apparently sitting out there on the internet, but we never noticed it before. So I'll just let Chris let us know what you found today, Chris. It was very interesting.
Yeah, I was I took a break from honestly researching the case for a while, and then I don't know. Honestly, Jim, you kind of reignited my fire to dig deeper, and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go on Reddit and I'm gonna see if I can dig anything. There's a ton of stuff on Reddit, right? And so I got on there late last night and just started digging around, and I don't know, I stumbled across this subreddit about Las Vegas Part 2 or something, and I had a very interesting post because the relevance of it is very important, because there's no way this person could have known this information when they posted it, because it came out 24 hours before the Vegas case broke. Not went viral. It didn't go viral for another 3 weeks, but before it broke, Doug Papa broke it. So it's very interesting, Jim. I don't know. I'm still going to dig down. I'm going to see if I can research it more. But it's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. Now, just before I'll pull up this document or this Reddit post that Chris found earlier today. But before we do that, I just want to just lay it out for you again. Now, remember, it was late April 30th, late 10 to midnight around, when the object came out of the sky and then landed in the backyard of the Kenmore family. That's a pseudonym for their real name. And then the police were contacted. 911 was contacted. They showed up about an hour later, according to the witnesses. And by the time they showed up, the alien beings that they were calling up to report about around midnight were gone. There was no evidence of craft. However, there was some police video that we've never received. We never got to see yet. There was quite a few. I think it was, I don't know, maybe 8 minutes worth of video or something like that. Was that what it was, Chris? About 8 minutes worth that we don't have?
I think it's actually 16. I'd have to look.
16 might have been more than that.
Yeah, I think it's 16, and then there's 9 minutes. Actually, I was just listening to the 911 call today, the full release. So I think it's 57 seconds. So we're missing like 9 minutes and 3 seconds, I think, or above. I can't remember how long the 911 call was, but it's at least 10 minutes. I think it's right over 10 minutes long. So we're missing that too.
Yeah, so I guess what happened then. Of course, the story didn't really become known until a local podcaster in Las Vegas named Doug Papa started talking about it. He initially mentioned it the very first time on May 18th, and I'll pull up that tweet later on. And then the first time he talked about it during any of his podcast shows was on May 23rd. So this post that we're going to look at right now. This was from May 17th of 2023, and it was posted on Reddit. So let's pull it up and we'll read through it here. Let me share the screen. Okay. Yeah, here it is here. It states Las Vegas Part 2 and this was actually 7 months ago, but this was talking about a different post that was posted on May 17th of 2023. And this person who reposted this 7 months ago says, Las Vegas Part 2, did this UFO sighting happen, get caught on camera and get covered up? 5/17/23 Reddit post, mysterious object with glowing green lights. Is this what James Fox and Doug Papa were talking about? Sources inside Vegas police talk about a federal cover-up. Okay, it reads, Metro responds to ? A co-worker who has family working at the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, related to this story to me this morning. Believe what you will. Tuesday, 2 a.m., Northeast Las Vegas, a man sitting in his vehicle calls 911 to report mysterious object with glowing green lights in an empty dirt lot. Metro responds. An officer captures video on body cam and dash cam of the stationary object, approximately 8 feet tall, with glowing green lights. Just a few minutes later, the object lifts off and disappears into the sky, leaving a perfect cylindrical burn spot on the ground as the only evidence. The next morning, when the officer submits his report, the FBI and the CIA both arrive and take over investigation. Dash cam, body cam footage, and all reports of the object are expunged from Metro's records. Reporting officer is now on paid administrative leave. And then there was an update to it he had. It says the precise location was Decatur and Tropical Parkway. Witness reporting incident. Homeowner with view of vacant lot from his home. Homeowner's father corroborated the witness statement to Metro on 911 call. Video is out there as not all copies are destroyed. That's what it stated. And that's that tells a different story than the one that was going on for the Kenmore family. So I mean, and we looked at the map of this, and I'll pull it up on the screen here so people can see it. It's not that far away. It was only 1.4 miles away. The location that was mentioned in this Reddit post was only 1.4 miles away from the home of the family that had the object land in their backyard. So is this the same? Was maybe the guy, I guess the question becomes, were there two incidents that happened that night, or were maybe the wires crossed between the story that this secondhand witness was getting from? Well, what do you think, Chris? Was there wires crossed, or is this maybe a secondhand? I mean, we don't know. We can only guess right now. It could have been.
We can only guess until we dig. Yeah, until we can try to find out something else. I mean, we just found this, so I don't know. I mean, I think it's legit. I think it's secondhand, obviously, but it's just crazy. I mean, it matches up. I mean, the cylindrical circle, the green lights. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's two possibilities here. I mean, when you look at this, I'm going to go back to this post here. I'm going to talk about it here. Okay, now he says that they see the object actually. This is a lot different than the other story. I mean, they're seeing the object just sitting there, stationary on the ground, approximately 8 feet tall, with glowing green lights. Now, of course, the object that the Kenmore families were talking about, the object that we see in the video, looked like it was greenish blue. And here we have an object described similarly that was sitting on the ground, and it left a mark. And then, of course, there was apparent video of this, and it only happened like a block away from where the other incident happened. That the one that we're talking about, the one with the Kenmore family and the aliens captured on video. So, I mean, this could be another element to this whole story here that we just never even knew about. I mean, it also brings to mind, in fact, in that one image that Scott Roeder and I think you actually talked about, it showed two objects coming down from the sky. Maybe one object landed in the yard and the other object landed over there on Decatur and Tropical. What do you think?
It's definitely possible. Definitely possible. The only thing I find interesting is because remember, Angel reported. Yeah, I think it was just Angel reported it. But remember, he said he tried to look at the craft and it was all blurry. But maybe he was too close. Maybe this guy's, this person saw it a mile and a half away. It's, who the hell knows with that. But I don't know. It's really interesting. There's just no way this person could have known this. If this is related, there's just no way this person could have known this, right? So, I mean, I don't know. Well, maybe there really is a copy floating around inside LVP, inside Metro, and they're afraid to do anything with it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if this incident now, the one thing that's not that's a little bit off here is now May 1st of 2023, I believe, was a Monday. Now, this person in the Reddit post is saying Tuesday at 2 a.m. I mean, that could have been just a mistake. We don't know. So that's possible there. But I guess, again, there's going to be more investigation needed to get to the bottom of this. But if it is two separate incidents, then this happened somewhat at some point after the police probably left the Kenmores, after they did their investigation, because this is saying 2 a.m. I mean, we don't know if it's exactly 2 a.m. Is it, 10
Right.
after 2? I mean, we don't really know, but they're saying 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, really. But I believe when I looked at the calendar from 2023, May 1st was a Monday. And so if they're saying on Tuesday, that could be just a mistake, unless there was something else that happened the following night. I
Right.
mean, I don't know. I guess there's a lot of different questions here that are just, they're not answered. And then the other part too, Chris, is that there's a possibility of a cover up.
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility of that. 100%. Yes, there's no. I think out of everything in this case, what we proved is that there was definitely a cover up that ensued with how they handled Angel, how everything went down. The cameras went down before the story went viral. Nothing made sense about that,
No.
Nothing. And I was talking to my uncle. My uncle he's got a law background, and he's a retired private investigator. And I told him about that. I was like, they put up surveillance cameras on private property that could see into other people's private property, and he was blown away. He was like, "That's insane," So it's just really, really crazy activity. So there's no question a cover up ensued. No question.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what's happening right, I mean, the end of that Reddit post, they're talking about that the cops were told by the CIA and the FBI the next day that they're taking over the case, and they give us the video, and that's it.
And that kind of sounds like what we've read about and stuff, and kind of what Angel alluded to. I mean, Angel had a handler. I mean, remember, as soon as Doug Papa showed up to that house, he got a call on his phone. I mean, so that house was under surveillance by Homeland Security or whatever, you know what I mean? And it was being monitored, and they were being watched, So it's just like, what? None of that would have happened if this case wasn't real,
Right. None of it would have happened. I mean, obviously something's happened here, and obviously there's some sort of a cover up. I mean, the cover up actually might extend further than we thought. I mean, if this is if there were two separate things that happen on that, in that same area of Las Vegas, then this is even bigger than we realized. I mean, the fact that there may have been two craft that came down, and it also brought to mind too, there was the report that was filed with the American Meteor Society on May 1st. There was a woman in Arizona who saw what she thought was a meteor going down toward Las Vegas in Nevada, and she filed a report because it wasn't just a meteor. After the meteor fell down, she said she saw two UFOs, and they were flying around there for an hour. So you have to wonder what was happening in that area. Were the aliens trying to get them out of it? Was it some sort of something happened to the craft that needed to make an emergency landing, and then other aliens came to the rescue and got them out of there before the police showed up? I mean, that's what it looks like. I mean,
well, they were waiting on something. I mean, they wouldn't have just waited in that backyard for 45 minutes. You know what I mean? They either had to wait for their craft to be fixed or who the hell knows, right? But they would have gotten in that craft and left if they could have, instead of sitting there and being recorded on video. So they were stuck, clearly,
Well, I mean, the aliens could have walked. I mean, if this story that you discovered today is accurate, then that means it's a possibility, I guess we could say. I mean, this happened later. Now, again, it says Tuesday at 2 a.m., but maybe there was a mistake there again, because you're talking secondhand information. But Monday, 2 a.m. What happened?
Yeah, secondhand information. And this whole event happened right on the crossover at midnight, so there could be a little confusion on the days, but I don't know.
So that's something that could happen. It'd be nice to talk to this person, but unfortunately this person was gone. He was removed from Reddit.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, exactly. I tried to look up his info, and he was suspended and gone. It's about as far as I got researching it. But
wow. So that's another thing to think about here. But the fact that it was only 1.4 miles away, maybe the aliens got out of the yard, walked 1.4 miles up the street to that dirt lot where the other object was sitting down, where the other witnesses, according to this post, are saying that they saw, and maybe that's what's going on here. I mean, I don't know.
Possible, right? They could have. Yeah, right. Who knows? Teleported over there. We don't know exactly.
Yeah, I mean, and then according to that Reddit post, and they actually filmed the object taken off. So was that the rescue craft that that landed a block away and then took off? I mean, I don't know. Really.
And if there's a craft on video taking off, no question that got covered up, and they don't want that out, because I mean that's just you can't explain that away, right? I mean, not with a 911 call, eyewitness testimony. No, it's over. I mean,
yeah, I mean, and then the other part too, I guess, is you know, you had these officials, that ones that are covering this up. If it is the CIA and the FBI that got involved and told the cops to shut up and give us your video, obviously they missed they didn't get the job done because they didn't know about the family video. That's the centerpiece of this whole thing now, because without that video, I mean, the video ties it all together. I mean, everything else seemed, I mean, for the beginning of this whole story, when I first heard about those witnesses always seemed sincere to me. And I didn't think they were lying. I didn't see a hoax anywhere. Like, even though Doug Papa later came out and said it was a hoax, even though we didn't have no proof to back up what he was saying, but he just felt that way because they wouldn't talk to him anymore. But whatever the case, or maybe he was told something. We don't know.
He won't talk about the case with me, and I've tried to pry him multiple times. So it's odd. I don't want to say anything. I don't know, but it's just weird. It's weird how he dropped the case. It really is.
I mean, he has to realize it's the biggest story of all time. That's
what I mean. He was on. You're right. He was on the beat on the most important, the biggest discovery in human history, right? And he blew it away. And he just pissed it away. It doesn't make sense.
No. And here he. I mean, and he's. You know, I don't know. I think, you know, he's still going to go down in history. I mean, this story's not going away. I know a lot of people wanted to out there for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they're afraid of it. I don't know, but it's not going anywhere. And more people are going to find out about it. And when they do, they're going to be wondering, wow, we have been getting lied to all these decades now, really. And we've been getting lied to about this too. And, obviously more people don't know. A lot of people just don't know about this.
They don't. I mean, yeah, it did. I mean, what, Fox News did that one piece, and then I don't know, News Nation isn't that big, right? But even one piece on Fox News, I feel like that got buried after 2 days, right? You know?
Well, Fox News, I have to give the reporter there. I thought he did Chris Eberhard. I thought he did a nice job. There was multiple articles there, but you know, again, it was only Fox News Digital. I mean, it was only articles on the Fox News Digital website. There was nothing on the channel, which, you know, they're the most watched news channel out there. So they should have had something on there. They never did. News Nation only had small little segments. They brought unqualified people in to talk about it. When Scott Roeder came on, like Ben Hansen, he had no idea what was going on, and he just pretended like there was nothing to it.
Hansen, I got a lot of questions about that guy, but yeah,
I think that this story today here, though, is it's just another thing now. It's just another addition to this, and it makes it even more mysterious. And I think the next step is I guess we're gonna have to try to contact the Las Vegas Police Department and see what they'll tell us about this. Do they have even a response to it, or are they going to tell us it's crazy and that never happened? Or I guess if they're told to shut up, I guess that's what we're going to get. So I'm not even sure if we bothered, but I think we should anyway.
Now we have to. We got. We don't know when they could slip up, make an accident, give us information they're not supposed. Who knows? They're humans. It's possible. You know, I mean, I'm not going to stop prying into this story. There's still more to be found out. So
I'd like to talk to this police officer who was allegedly put on an administrative leave after filming this. So, I mean, not only were there 2 officers that went to responded to the house, so then this might be a separate officer, might not have not this might be a different officer too that was there. Right. So we're talking about possible, or unless you know, the other possibility, as we talked about early on, is that maybe this story was like, because it was handed down through multiple people till it got to the person who posted on Reddit, that wires got crossed maybe, and that you know, the 8-foot tall, you know, 8-foot tall creatures that the Kenmores were seeing turns into an 8-foot tall UFO in the dirt.
That part made me wonder a little. Agreed, but
but we need to investigate it. But it does add another fascinating layer to this whole thing, I thought, and I was really thrilled to see that post today, and I appreciate you sending it out.
Yeah, so, I mean, let me know. It's never ending. It's never ending, honestly.
Yeah, and actually, Chris and I, we're still, you know, Chris, you know, he's been he's been making a lot of different discoveries in the Vegas alien video, and at some point in the future, in the near future, hopefully, we're going to go over some of the things that Chris is seeing, because there's things in there that he's seeing that I was having trouble seeing, and he's trying to help me see them, you know. So it's not, you know, I know there's people out there that have trouble seeing what I've been trying to point out. Well, guess what? There's other things in there that I'm having trouble seeing. So
there's so much going on in that. Actually, today, Jim, I was going by frame. I mean, just on YouTube, pause pause play as much as I could on 0.25% playback, and it's crazy. I mean, you can see you can see it. You can see the head of this thing keep on morphing, going back and forth, back and forth. And it matches Angel's testimony. I mean, he's quoted saying it was like shape shifting, So
yeah.
One day I'm gonna do like 100 still frames, just frame by frame by frame by frame, and then we can see the way it's changing, because you can't even do it on video. I don't know yet. And then on top of that, we can point out the anatomy of what Angel reported seeing. You know what I mean? And then I think some people can see it then after that. But
the one picture that I sent you recently to get your opinion on, I mean, I thought that was I never noticed it before, but when you looked at it, you said, yeah, you see it too. I mean, I couldn't, I mean, I'm having trouble believing actually myself with that one. I should pull it up. I should pull that one up on the screen.
I know.
Because that one is just, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what to say. Let me find that image here. Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. I mean, I just don't know if it's. I'm not sure. I mean, this one actually has me I have trouble believing this one myself. I just don't know. Like here, this was it here. Okay, I'll share this picture, and this was so freaking weird that I don't even know what to say about it. Okay, now I was looking at this, and this is right around here. You see this? Well, and then I did another picture where I drew around it, but this is impossible to me. But yet nonetheless it's there. This is a mouth right here. This is an eye up here. Yeah, here's another eye right here, and then this I did an outline around it, and I just don't know though. I mean, it's just it seems it's too hard for me to even believe.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to say about it, but that's it right there. That's where I drew the line around it, and and then this is the original right there. I just it's actually too. This is in. I mean, it looks like it does look like a demonic kind of face here, doesn't it? Very strange. I don't know what to say about it, but yeah, this whole video is strange. This whole thing is just so fascinating, and I'm not ready to and I need to look at this more closely because I'm still having trouble believing this one myself. So
yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't notice that one today when I was going frame by frame, but I wasn't looking for it either. So
yeah, I mean, that was like what happened was I gave it 2 months off, and then you give things 2 months off, and then you look at it again, it's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
you find other things when you give it a break, and this is what happens.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say about it other than wow.
And I think one day, Jim, what I'm going to do is I'm going to summarize all of Angel's relevant. I'm going to go through all his interviews and just pick out everything, all the descriptions of the beings, and I'm going to put that in a separate piece of paper, so then we can just dig through all that and try to match it. You know what I mean? And then look at so.
Yeah. We have to get there. Certain things we have to get straightened out with some of the aliens that are appearing in there. Some of them are a lot better than others. Like that one I just showed. I'm not sure about that one. I have trouble believing that one myself, but it's nonetheless it's there. And I when you look at it, I mean, there's so many instances, Chris, throughout that video where there's a face appearing somewhere and then disappearing. And if you take your cell phone, if you take your cell phone camera outside in the middle of the night and film your backyard. You're not going to, and then you look at it later, you're not going to find these things. I've tried it.
No,
I thought maybe it was a hallucinate or imagining things, but we're not. These faces are appearing.
You might convince yourself to see one thing, but not like seven. I mean, there's so many things going on back there. But behind the fence, there's arguably 3 things right in front of the tractor, maybe one inside. I'm still working on the one inside. That's the one I'm having trouble with because Angel said there's another one beside it inside. So I don't know. I'm still trying to.
Well, there are some things that I found, and again, we have to share our notes with this as time goes on, and we will be doing that. And of course, Scott Roeder has sent me some things as well. Sometimes, and me and him were talking about things like he's saying he thinks was one there, and then I look at, we try to verify it for each other, and that's what we try to do, and we need to keep doing that. But I think today's discovery is just yet another piece of information that we could look at and investigate. This adds more to the story. It's fantastic, and thank you, Chris, for figuring that out and finding that and continuing the investigation. We need more people, and more people should be. Everybody, everyone in the UFO community should be investigating this case.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I know nobody's covering this. Couple other guys. It's just I don't get it.
Stephen Diener talks about it.
Yeah.
Jack on Cosmic Road was talking about it recently.
Yeah.
But not many people are. I mean, how could this not be the biggest story of all time?
And where's James Fox? And James Fox was originally interested in this, and then he just lost interest.
I was in contact with him some months ago, and I tried to tell him, and he said he heard from a police officer friend in Vegas that it was fake or a hoax or something like that. And I was like, no, it's not. Can't be. It's impossible.
Yeah, it sounds like they wanted to get a big name off the case quick, right?
Maybe somebody might be steered. Some people might be getting steered down the wrong tracks, or maybe they're having their own issues, ontological shock themselves. They can't make themselves believe it because it is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
You're right. It's proof. Like like you always say, it will never be debunked in 1,000 years. It's impossible. It's real. Real things can't be debunked. You know.
Right. I mean, I saw an article today with Danny Sheehan talking about that there's going to be this year. There's going to be a video of a alien getting interviewed. I'm thinking you already have it. He's talking about the concern of a catastrophic disclosure. What are you talking about? It's already a done deal, man. It's already out there floating around. You know. So
right.
We'll see. We'll see how things are. This is not over yet, and you know, we're not done yet.
It's only beginning, to be honest. Like there's a lot more to find out, and we might get a giant break in the case if we can end up getting a hold of landlord or somehow get body cam 911 call. We're in business. There's it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We should. Well, Chris, I want to say thank you very much for appearing on the show today and sharing this stuff. This was fantastic. Great news. I want to say thank you very much. And you'll have to come on again soon.
Yeah, I would love to, Jim. Love to. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Well, I want to say this. I want to say thank you all for joining us here today. Until next time.